Yesterday, on the 29th, I was in Harville. I did that video earlier today. Yesterday in the morning. And I went up to Harville. I went in Marks. Idiot women. We told all those guys she's not worth going out with. You know why they're following me around? Because, like you said, he pays people to follow me around and say stuff to do stuff to me. That drug dealer having people starve. Okay? Those women admitted to watching me go to the bathroom in the morning. Do you know how illegal that is? Do you know how illegal that is? I go by the front, some guys on the phone was on, where she said all her family defended her. We looked it up, they did. No, but none of this is funny. No, it's not. It's like we looked her up, her whole family defended her. None of this is funny. Nobody better say a word. These people, I'll tell you what, I grew up in New York. And I grew up in New York in the 70s. The mafia up there, they burned down businesses, homes, my favorite ice cream stand. You learn to mind your own business, not say anything, and just be a good person. And I left it alone. They wanted protection money, you either gave it to them or else. And nobody said a word. Why? Because they did stuff like that. Then you disappeared. My dad ran a rubber factory up there in the 70s. He said one of the mafia guys came to him and asked him to hire one of their kids. He said it couldn't keep his mouth shut about anything. Okay? And my dad said, he's not burning down my factory. I'll pay his kid to stand there and hold a broom. Do you know within 10 blocks around my dad's factory, there wasn't one crime? Why? Because that mafia kid worked at my dad's factory. Not one crime. He locked it down. He locked it down. My dad had an issue at the factory. He went up there, my mom and I went over there at night. He said people were out there walking dogs. It was the safest area. Buffalo was, people think Cleveland is bad. It was like off the charts. Drive-bys, gangs. But around my dad's factory, it was safe to walk in because that mafia lord locked it down. Which sort of kind of makes sense. My mom would go to church over in Buffalo and drug dealers would drive by. She was scared of it and she would run in the church. Well, they're probably keeping an eye on her because my dad was taking care of one of her kids. She didn't realize it. Before I went to Harville, I went to this gas station on Middlebridge. Some guy said, no wonder that one drug lord told all those guys to make sure nothing happened to her. She played she's out. We found out who her dad knew and he was friends with. I'll tell you what, if that mafia was here, these jackasses run around, and we drugged you and told you to say stuff, we did this, screaming, we're bad people, look at us. We drugged her up and told her to say stuff, we photoshopped that. They disappear. They didn't put up with people like that. And the nonsense and the foolishness of these crackheads. I had wrote on the Facebook that I put it write out everything. I put a picture of my grandfather that was a Freemason, and then my dad that was a Freemason. And I had wrote everyone that I needed to help me is dead, that died from my father to my wonderful brother-in-law, Craig, that worked for the government. Everybody that could have helped me had died. And I couldn't afford to even go to my father's funeral, but I had the honor of at least paying for his headstone. Do you know some idiot showed up and said Karen's will wants to know she couldn't afford to go to the funeral, how could she afford something like that? So I rechanged the Facebook. I paid for the headstone with my divorce settlement. They knew that. It was only like $2,500, a small headstone. But at least I got to do that for it. I've never even got to visit his grave. Dave took all the money out of the checking account, opened his own. We couldn't drink the water up there. And when they were drugging the hell out of me, and I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week, I could only either drink like Ensures, soups, and then I found out I could tolerate some other small foods. For me to have gas money or anything, I had to go out and sell things just to survive. He's making over $110,000, and he's making me do without him. I have had officers yell at these people. I don't care who the hell you think you are. You can't do this. I used to run around in 18 and 19 and debunk their lies. My family looked at me like I was stupid. They would come up to me when you had bruises, you were sick, you were infected, you were drug beaten, confess to it, to harming. We had drugged you and told you to say this. We had drugged you and told you to say that. In front of the federal agents that were assigned to me and the police officers. They reported it. It's documented. I was framed by the drug hotel. It was a drug hotel running a drug scam. These people have admitted that they, in 18, they photoshopped all their lives. They would come up to me even in 19. And they would say the most horrible things. Now, the only thing I knew was I had bruises I couldn't explain, throwing up, heart racing, massive headache, almost passing out, and a severe personal infection till I got IMD. And I thought it was the dirty well water killing me off, washing me out. Okay? These people, now I have my daughter-in-law, Jen. I have my ex-husband, David. admitting on the 4th of July of 18 that after everybody got done eating, we had went outside, Danny and Jen. I think Danny was in the backwoods looking out through it. I was outside with Jen on the front porch drinking water. John was playing ball with Dave and Noah, his son. Gabe was running around on a lawnmower. The twins and the girls were playing in the basement, pillow fights, and you could hear the laughter outside. It was wonderful. In the basement was a split level, so it was a family room. There was a sectional couch, a TV, a full bathroom, a laundry room, and the puppies. When it got too warm, we went inside. We dished up dessert. We just sat down, and Dave came in. And when John left, I said, well, I didn't say goodbye. He said, well, he was in a hurry and left for the basement. And he said they had to go. Okay? They never came upstairs. These people came up to me. They photoshopped them coming upstairs, them being dirty, peeking through a bathroom door, and you were supposed to be weird with yourself. And I'm like, they never came upstairs, and that never happened. Then who's being dirty if you're peeking through a bathroom door? You are. Somebody's raping them. Wow. And I thought, dear God, you could be putting yeast infection cream. Huh? And they never came upstairs. Even my grandson, Daniel, we were in the car and the police were driving around us. And we were talking about that day, how good it was, and how they never came upstairs. He looked at me and said, Grandma, one day I hope you find somebody and they're happy again. And he even admitted they never came upstairs. They told me that when they had drugged me, this is how weird it is. Now, I never seen or talked to anybody for the FBI. They said they drugged you up and had you put this one dress on, sat you in a chair and questioned you. I never put a dress on, sat in a chair and talked to anybody. It's like you're fucking right. They said they erased some guy named Chris out of the room. I never had a Chris in my house. They even said they had those drug dealers dress when I told everyone, the only 2 officers I ever spoke to were the silly ones on August 8th of 18 at a lightless security system at midnight at 911 call. They came out and they said, ma'am, it looks like an alien orb or an angry spirit. I'm like, sure, it's hard. I go, would you like some more? I thought they were dead. And they refused. And then they told me, you know how we handle it here in the country, ma'am? We buy big dogs, open the door, let the dogs handle it. They didn't want bothered. I'm a lady home alone, and some idiots out there with a flashlight close to my house, they're looking to break in. There's probably one of those idiots coming over to rape. And they're telling me to buy a dog. People had robbed me when I had put that on one of my tapes. They said, that's not even funny that that's the only 2 officers she talked to. They're supposed to have those guys dress up as officers doing that to her. See, they tried to frame the Portage County Sheriffs. And like they said, it was none of their officers. See, what they say around me, none of it's funny. They even came up and said, we photoshopped you bending over the top and exposing your butt. My God, that never happened. They came up to me by January 19. They photoshopped you using a feminine wipey above the toilet in the other room to make you look good. They told me they photoshopped all their lies. And they all the kind of crazy crap they had supposed to have drugged me and told me to say. I had bruises I couldn't explain, throwing up, heart racing, dizzy, almost passing out, severe headache, and severe swollen personal infection. I had all the signs of being drugged, being raped. But like an LPN said, we all know rapists prey on people. but you want to think it's environmental or a virus or something else. You don't want to lead to a rapist. We all know it happens, but we don't ever just want to jump there. Maybe people should. And then you can always dial it back. In March or was it March, July of 22, Nevada, the Michigan drug dealers were here. And my client's neighbor was out on our porch. And I had walked out to my client's porch. They slammed on the brakes. We looked her up. The worst thing she ever did wrong is I know them probably. None of this is funny. Said, well, they made up the second part. Me and my men are out here. Michigan left. I just found out I set up everything in 18 by the police and FBI. People have said, we looked up the case. The first part of it said she was found and I set up everything. It's been almost 6 years. Why do they think nothing ever happens to me? Because like my friend from the prosecutor's office, it's a fraud scheme. Done by drug dealers. People in Alliance said everybody feels bad. They found out a drug dealer was doing this before. Of course it was a drug dealer. They were telling the people that over a year ago. Some drug dealers doing this to them. The FBI knew that. That David hired a drug dealer to run a drug scam. Fake sodium pentothal reports, date rape, amnesia drugs. These people, I've even heard the police say, those date rape, amnesia drugs, the mind control drugs, they're so bad they could have drugged up the people and told them to go take down the towers, and they didn't. And didn't know they did it. I told you people about my neighbor Mike getting roofied in a bar, came home, and he didn't know how he got home, he didn't know how he changed his shoes, he didn't know how he got money in his pocket. And it was starting to wear off, and he still loopy. Stoned out of his mind, tried to tell me he was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. And he's standing there talking and acting fine, just the weirdest stuff coming out of his mouth. I could have told him to say or do anything. He would have. These people roofied a U.S. Marshals kid. Met her at my storage unit. Okay? She has a similar story. Her boyfriend of 8 years that bought a house, she worked on it for 2 years. One night, he came home and punched her in the face, broke her nose. She called 911, the police arrested him. For some ungodly reason, that man got away with the crime. Okay? Found out he had been at a strip club and came home and beat on her. That he'd also been cheating on her for 2 years. She didn't know about. She's like, my dad's a U.S. Marshal. And I'm military. And he still got away with it. She said, since then, I went to Jersey's. I got a drink. I took one drink out of it and I went to Zan Black. And I don't know what happened to me that night. She said, I went to another bar and the same thing happened, and I ended up in the hospital. I don't even know how I got out of the bar. That's what happened to Mike. He didn't know I got home. That's where I don't know what's wrong. Where my coworker Dar took a drink out of a drink at a bar, and she don't even remember meeting the people that took her raped her and left her in a puddle pee. She don't even remember meeting. Her friend said she was talking and acting fine. You never remember. They had LSD in the 60s. People would take it, those hippies, and they'd walk around hallucinating. Some got taken, some killed themselves, some hurt other people, and they didn't even know what they did. There's a lot more drugs since then, and they even prescription drugs and high doses cause it. There's over 20. And when you think about my whole family defending me, do you realize how stupid these people look? And like they said, it's not even funny what these people are saying. Not even a little bit. That her family would actually be in with Dave, trying to have her killed. It's not even funny. Them defending her to her face and to the police, and then secretly being in with Dave. It's not even funny what these people are saying. Because I told you on Thanksgiving of 18, John's kids were saying burn the basement. My house is legally bought by the police and FBI with a court order with statements. Okay? John's kids were playing boo in the basement. And as I went to go back upstairs, I heard the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie, Shell, and Papa. And Grandma needs to get out and look down there all in a huddle laughing, rubbing their hair. Talking crazy crap. I go sit by Dixie. Before my other granddaughter runs upstairs to say mean things in the basement, and we'll stay out of it. I go up to John, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know, Mom. I told Melissa, his ex-wife, that you're moving out. Gonna go through a divorce. She'll just have the kids make up something. But trust me, nobody could say anything bad about you. She'll just have them make it up. And she'll probably have the church people make up something too. But trust me, no one could ever say anything bad about it. I said, well, you shouldn't have said something until I moved out. Well, I did. But don't worry about it. He like shoes me. It's like, they'll just make something. But nobody could ever say anything bad about it. Okay? I go to Dave within a few days. Okay? I said, I've never heard anyone. He's like, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped it. We talk about Miles' kid's gonna lie because of the divorce. We talk about John defending me. The police taped him and the FBI. Okay? The two young guys that remind you of my son Josh, they're actually federal agents, I found out. They were down there with the police at around Woodforest in World War 62. Talking to them, why they having those kids make all that shit up. Well, they're just trying to scare her out of the house, that's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. These people have came up to me. You hurt people. I never hurt anyone. Went around to my family. Oh, you're supposed to flash Joshy. Never flashed Joshy. I called him up. And I'm like, Josh, would you verify that I never flashed you? He's like, Mom, are people making up stuff like that? If they are, I'd move away. He said, I'd verify it. I went to him. I said, Josh, I've never done anything bad or wrong. He's like, I never said you did. Went to Danny and Jen. November 13th, 22, that people were making up weirdo molester stuff on me. Danny's like, where on earth would they get that? Jen's like, boy, they would be lying with that one. The pants would burst in flames and there would be a Pinocchio, as if. Christmas Eve at 22, where Eric, one of the drug dealers. On November 18th, 22, Walmart 62 came in. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people turned on, they thought, well, if it's not you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, but still fell for it. Okay, so Christmas Eve of 22, I go to him. I said, "Do you know anything about that jackass?" No. I said, "Did you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day? When we were at the storage unit, came home, found the door kicked into the wall. Did you know?" And Dave said it was a realtor passing out keys. Don't report it. Yes, we know that. I said, "Did you know about button cameras?" No. Did you know about a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird? No. Okay. I said, "Do you remember I had orange, lemon, grapefruit-sized bruises all over me? Almost passed out in front of the neighbor and throwing up. Kept happening." And I said, "It was happening by the second week up there?" "Yeah, I remember." I said, did you know they were drugging and beating me? Tell me they were going to molest or stuff?" No. I didn't think about it. I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. Kids came out of the room. Grandma, is that what's going on? We didn't know. Danny and 23, I had heard him off in the distance that he went to his dad, asked him what on earth is going on. Right? He said he had hired Pete on his own. Pete had me framed, and it was Pete and his men, and it was my home. Okay? He can't hire a drug dealer to run a drug scam. Like they said, that idiot can't hire a stalker. And he hired a serial rapist, as people say. He hired the drug cartel. A bunch of crackheads in that area to run a drug scam. Setting up button cameras is cyber stalking. It's 20 years. Taking naked pictures of somebody without their knowledge or permission is voyeurism. Unless you're a sex offender, you go to jail for that. You Photoshop a shower scene. Sextortion. They have admitted to taping everyone using the bathroom, from my kids to my grandkids. They have kiddie porn that they obtained it and dispensed it. They admitted they were drug, beat, and raping me and human trafficking me under drugs out of that house. They were drugging me up and telling me to say stuff and photoshopping lies. That is racketeering and trying to extort money out of me. They have like 100 years in jail. You know, I even went to the twins. I said, "I've never done anything bad or wrong." "That's the truth." "I've always been good to you." "Yes." Same with Josh's girls. And like Flora said, October 23rd, 2019, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. And these people sold the locket. And like Man Can and Canton and May of 19, if you didn't hear John's kids right on the third step up, Karen, Dave's girlfriend isn't Michelle, it's Michelle. You all heard what, like Officer John said, to a bunch of goons, what was it, in January 22, Walgreens North Main, when those kids get caught stating, they made everything up. They were games of pretend. They're documented the games of pretend. Like Flora said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend to a bunch of adults laughing. I was found innocent of everything by Thanksgiving of 18. And by Thanksgiving of 18, the police and the FBI went with me to all my family physicians. And in front of all them, they had cameras in the room or watch the doctors take care of you. You always blame the steroids, but they had you on so much medication before. Or tell them which ones or the combination thereof, caused everything to swell up and shut down. It was a medication making you sick before. The medication is. Documented medical malpractice, fraud, and medication errors since 2002. They told the police in the FBI. My part of the case was over by Thanksgiving of 18. And like the police that worked my case, they always knew it was their backup plan was stalking tapes. Where they already knew the weird with herself of shower scene and washing. And they already knew they had drugged me and told me to say it before. I never seen or talked to anybody before the FBI. How would you like to wake up? Like, I've had people scream at these people. I had an officer scream at them. I don't care who the hell you think you are, you can't do this. And then other ones, how would you like to wake up with bruises and not know what happened to you? When you start thinking of scary movie shit, sexual predators preying on people in their home running scams on them, and these idiot people laugh at me. That Pete gives them a little bit of money, and they're willing to go to jail the rest of their life for it. Like the police said, anybody says anything to you, let us know. We'll pull the tape and we want their involvement in this. You're looking at several life sentences. April 28th, 24. Okay. Walmart on the strip in Belleville. I go to walk in. That guy says, I listened to the recorded line. That agent did admit to telling on her before, and he did talk to her like that. Okay? They better do something about it. By the canned vegetable aisles, an officer in uniform shows up. Karen, I've been listening to all this. We all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel knows a drug cartel in your home. And we all know that guy told on you before. And he takes off. Okay? Where the Stark County Sheriff's made fun of a guy named Kurt in May of 21 for fall for this and called him swell. He tells everybody he knows to stay out of it. Okay? I go over in between the ladies' clothing aisle and the food aisle. And some guy's on the phone with him. Kurt, none of this is funny. They have these people taped. They made everything up on them. They have that agent admitting on a recorded line that he told on her before. Okay? They also have him taped admitting he was in it with Dave and stole their money December 14th, 23, 4:45 p.m. The police call him. Walks out on McDonald's North Main screaming at all the cops, slam on the brakes. That none of this is funny. Go up front, Pam Strange and her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. Oh, they're verified. Who did they just say it was? A drug cartel and it's all made up. I go outside and people bust out laughing. It took her long enough to confess. She was in it with Dave, and with those stocking tapes, her family was linked to the following of Randy. Now she's in it with Dave and the stocking tapes. It's better never, ever back anything on those stocking tapes. The police already have them taped, admitting to defending her. That means they were in it with Dave the whole time trying to have her killed. And trying to cover it up. The police got arrested. Okay? That night, where I was staying with my old boyfriend, outside his apartment, a dog started barking. Some guy's quiet, I don't want her to know I'm here. I thought, who are you? Because the cops want them. They don't care. They'll flat out tell you they're there. Got a problem with it? It's a drug cartel. Okay? The guy, he's talking to another guy outside. He said, I told her she's already been taped of knowing of those stocking tapes. She better never admit she was part of it. She's going to get in a lot of trouble. I I found out that guy, Chris, he was one of the main people out here. And she's never met him. And that's how not funny this is. And they said they raised some guy named Chris on the road. Never had Chris in my house. Okay. Another time outside this apartment, some guy was talking. I never talked to these people. I've never even met them. They're supposed to have me saying what? I never talked to her. Is that what they did to her? He said, how do you think she feels? Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. It's a big fraud scheme. Other people say it's a drug scam from the drug dealers and the trafficking people. I'll tell you what, when I lived up in New York, you didn't cause chaos. You disappeared if you did. Because they didn't want law enforcement looking around them. Most drug cartels don't. They want to come in, do their dirty business, and leave. Get away with their crimes. Not stand there and dance around. Look at me, I committed heinous crimes. And sit there and scream out all their confessions. March 20th, 24, Walmart 62, they were in there laughing. They made up retired Judge Beat. They made up everything on it. Get away with this. And they're laughing at these people again. June 30th to July 4th of 23, they said they went to a party. And were the life of the party. How they made fools out of all these people for falling for their stunning tapes before. People know better. March of 23, I was in Walmart 62. Some teenagers. They need better teachers. They really do. Said, well, we all know you have the right to remain quiet. Yeah, we all know you at least have that. That alone would keep them out of your house. They have to be lying they have a right. Well, they're lying big time. You have a right to privacy, a right to an attorney, a right to a fair court trial, bail, and bond. They're lying. Like a guy sent out lies. They didn't have a court of it. You don't get a court order for a drug dealer to run a drug scam on somebody and exploit them and children. And to have them drug being raped. You don't get a court order to be a criminal. And to Photoshop washing, drug people up and tell them to say something stupid and run a drug scam. You don't get a court order for that. Where they lie, they had an attorney. They don't have an attorney. Like the FBI said, it's some lady. I talked to a criminal attorney. Dave can't hire Peter or anybody on his own. No one could be in your home but a protector like his was statements. It's the Fourth Amendment. That agent can't ask you to stay quiet. He doesn't have authority. He's only a higher police officer. And no one could be in your home, not even the FBI. It's a Fourth Amendment. It's protected custody cases with statements only. It's what the Stark County Prosecutor's Office and police out of this area and police in this area. And nothing they have is admissible. It's a Fourth Amendment over the house. Like the prosecutor's office said, they make the biggest mistake. They did it at your house. Like the criminal attorney. You get paid for working the case and only for working the case, and that agent don't have enough authority to ask you to stay quiet. And he can't talk to you like that. He was only employing you. Huh? Just like the prosecutor's office. He's only employing you to get away with this. Give him the money for working the case and only for working the case. Informants are different. You risk your life to give them information they owe you for the rest of your life. And he's only a higher police officer, and it takes a judge, due to the freedom of speech, to put a gag order on you, and no sitting judge would sign his own arrest warrant taking your freedom of speech away outside a jury trial. It takes a judge. He's just a higher police officer. He's only employing you. That's what police officers say, and want to know why our local police didn't arrest him. For admitting to telling on me, obstruction of justice, tampering with witnesses, tampering with evidence, and then embezzlement. Because like Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin, if he stole your money, he stole others, they go back for his cases. He fed me back to the drug cartel. To abuse and sell videos of it. See, that's where that guy in Alliance, we all know they fed her back to him. They found out, now they were taping the whole time, they knew it the whole time. They raped her, they human trafficked her, and almost murdered her. Everybody feels bad. You should have felt bad when they were doing it and selling videos of it to children. Because of their arrogance, over 1,000 drug dealers and human traffickers went to jail. The marshal showed up and arrested him. And the sheriff's got 160. Got an 801 swoop on February 14th, 23. And then the sheriffs and the police got another 160 out of Summit County. It was one of the mega cases where the FBI talks about the countrywide human trafficking scam. I always call it nationwide. We were a big piece of that mega case. All the drug cartels showed up here in Ohio. Under police surveillance, like I was in a different county this last weekend. They said she probably had it down here and to keep an eye on her and to listen to some of this. There was a Freemason lodge messed up with a drug cartel, and they have him under police surveillance with a court order, and the police were taping him. Oh boy, can't wait to look it up. Karen Sproul's here. That's the one we're all supposed to take care of if we see her. FBI informant. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, Karen, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. Stay yourself and you feed them information. You can tell whoever you want, and that agent can't say a word to you. I said, well, are you told on me? Been witnessed by the police a minute on a report line. He's like, it doesn't matter. You can tell whoever you want. He's only a police officer. A higher one, just a police officer. It takes a judge in a jury trial. No sitting judge would sign his own arrest warrant of taking your freedom of speech away outside a jury trial. Department of Justice or the state would put him in jail. Okay? He said, and the police know that, and they can't go along with it. And he don't have that kind of authority. He was only bullying you so they get away with this. You get your money for working a case, and only for working a case. And then tell the FBI put you in another witness protection program. You can't get out of the informant case. You'll get the money the rest of your life, and you can't withhold it, and you can't misconduct it. You stole my money. Okay? That's where this guy in Hartville, the Hartville place had said no one's to say a word to her that agent stole her money. They all know he told on me too. where you have a life of peace and an informant. Nothing legally stated dated against you again, and only for you and only for you would we ever do this to. Always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. You have that money to live on. Admit to know what I'm doing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. Unlike my friend from the prosecutor's office, until they put you in another witness protection program, stay informed of the line. They tried to kill you. They actually tried. It'd be illegal for them to drop it. The Department of Justice would put them in jail. They can put you in another witness protection program. But they have to speak to you first. Yeah, those other sheriffs were like, that's Karen's mom. The law and we're all supposed to take care of her. See that? Said she was heading down. To listen to this. A group of Freemasons was messed up with the drug cartels, and the human traffickers. They got them under police surveillance with a court order. Oh boy, I can't wait to look it up. My God, are they going to get their eyes full? Wait till they get to the rape and torture. Like they said when you pull the case. No, this is funny. It said she was found innocent of everything. This is, can we wait and try to get her later? I'm going to upload